close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll
How are we doing, guys? I hope you're all keeping safe and well. Apologies there. I had a few technical issues with my end, so I had to play the intro twice. Joining me is Kevin Campbell. Kev, how's it going?
Hi, Dan. I'm good, thank you, mate. I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, really good. And how was your summer, Kev? How was your summer?
It was busy. It was busy. Loads of stuff to do with the Euros, etc. So it was been a football summer. But, you know, the real deal is back now, and looking forward to Friday.
Yeah, and I think you're probably about the only one that is at the moment with the state of Arsenal right now.
Dan, look, I'm sure we're going to go into it anyway. So, do you know what? It's the start of the season. It's still an exciting time. Yeah, there are gaps in our squad. We know that. And the case of what we've got to realize is how many of those gaps get filled. That's the key.
Yeah. Do you know, you're absolutely right, Kev. Do you know what I mean? You are right in what you're saying. Let's start with, but listen, before we come on to all the Arsenal stuff, let's start with the Euros. What did you make of all that tournament? Listen, I've not spoken to you since all that happened, and most notably, I want to talk to you about Bukayo Saka, and obviously he's had a bit of a time. What did you make of all that, Kev? You know, with him missing the penalty, and do you think he should have been put in that position? Do you think it was a mistake? How much do you think that will impact him going into this season and going forward as a player? Because Bukayo Saka has been knocking down barriers, you know, pretty much all his career so far, and he's not really had any blips, but that was a massive blip against Italy, wasn't it? That was
well, it's part of football, Dan. This is all football related, and the fact that is you know, this is the funny thing. People always are quick to tell me that if you're good enough, you're old enough. Right? And then people are turning around and saying, but he's too young to take the penalty. Why is he? If he's good enough to be a part of the squad, if he's good enough to be a part of the team, he's a player. He steps up and he takes one. The fact of the matter is, it didn't quite work out for us, and it worked for Italy. I thought Italy were the better team on the day, and they deserved it. Although, you know, when you take the lead, you're just hoping that England could really, you know, get more of a foothold in the game and come back into it. They equalised, but it just wasn't to be. I thought it was a really good tournament. Great that England got to finals. Buzzing that England got to the final. And obviously some of the unsavoury stuff that happened when the lads missed the penalties, etc., is disgraceful, uncalled for. But you know what you actually saw was a lot of people come on board and say, yeah, it's out of order. It is bang out of order. And, there was a lot of unity in the backing of Bukayo Saka. And I must say, it was great to see him come back onto the football pitch. And even the Spurs fans clapped him, which I've got to give a lot of respect for yesterday. So, yeah, I felt the Euros was excellent and the perfect prelude to the season coming up.
It was, and it was like you said. I personally think that, but Saka should have. Look, maybe I think him taking a penalty. I think actually, when you look at it, why not? He's broken down so many barriers. The only issue I saw is maybe give him an earlier penalty. To have that ultimate penalty where if he missed, we lost, and if he scored, then we would still be alive. But maybe give him one earlier. Maybe that's just me. But yeah, what? Obviously, all the stuff that happened afterwards. That listen, that's not acceptable in any form. The way that social media is, and people need to take note, especially the social media companies. They need to get a grip on that. And but what do you think that he should have took an earlier penalty, Kev, or do you think that maybe it was the right thing to do, giving him that penalty?
Look, again, this is all hindsight talking here. Now, if Italy missed and we'd scored and we'd won, then would there be anybody saying about, what penalty he should have taken? So again, I think, listen, he announced himself on the world stage. Although it was the Euros, it was the world stage. Everyone around the world was kind of watching these tournaments. And Bukayo Saka proved, he's one of the best young players in the world. That's what he's done. The fact that it didn't quite work out during the penalty shootout, I think he's going to be the making of him, Dan, if I'm really honest. I think to be able to deal with all that pressure, to be disappointed, to feel that disappointment, as you quite rightly said, he hasn't really had any blips in his young fledgling career. There comes a blip. Now, the blip can either send you under, or it can make you stand up. And I truly believe in this young man. He's gonna stand up, and he's gonna be a real asset for Arsenal Football Club. He's handling it. He's handling the pressure. He will handle the pressure moving forward, and I think he's gonna go on to be a top class player for Arsenal Football Club. And getting over a hurdle like this is important in his development.
Yeah, do you know what? I agree. And I actually do think it will be the making of him. I think that actually when he comes back, he'll be more determined to put that to bed and to right that wrong. And actually, to do that. And look, to even be in the England squad at such a young age, in my opinion, he's achieved something great, because not many 19-year-olds get into an England team. And when you look at this England team as well, there's so many quality players. So to even be picked for a major tournament just shows how far Saka's come as a player.
Dan, you're absolutely correct. I think Saka. Look, there was talk before that he might not even be in the squad. He was in the what was it, the 30-man squad, and there was talk that Saka might miss out. But during the games and the training, I think he convinced Southgate he needs to be an important part of this squad. And his performances, Dan, shocked everybody. Didn't shock us Gooners.
No, but they shocked everybody.
Yeah, it shocked everybody else because, unfortunately, Dan, Arsenal ain't that that product anymore that where every other fan takes notice of, because we're not up there challenging. We had a terrible
Mate,
season
even
last season.
Arsenal fans don't take notice of us right now.
No,
so,
but they know about Saka. Let's have it right. They know about Saka. He's player of the season at 19 years old, which is incredible. Carried the team on his young shoulders, with help from Smith Rowe, Martinelli, etc. at times last season, and announced himself on the world stage. Not only is he a young player, Dan, he's a young player who makes a difference in the England first 11. That's the difference. He's making a huge difference when he plays for the first 11. So, fair play to the young man. He deserves everything he gets. And it's obviously not. It's sad that what happened with the penalty, but as we agreed, we think it's going to be the making of him, Dan. We really do.
Yeah, definitely. Listen, let's come on to Arsenal, Kev. Before I do that, I just want to remind everybody to hit the like button and do subscribe if you are new to the channel. The road to 3K. So yeah, do smash that subscribe button. Kev, what have you made of Arsenal's transfer window? And I know me and you are probably going to disagree on a lot of what we're going to talk about, but what have you made of it?
It's to be expected. We've seen, we know what we've got to do. We know what we've got to deal with. The issue is that, and this is the key, Arsenal do not have the assets to sell to get the whole train moving. This is the problem. Now, if you're selling some assets and you're bringing money in, and then you could move and shake, that's great. Ben White, I think, is a super signing. A lot of people say no, but we didn't need a centre back. We did need a centre back. Let me tell you, we did need a ball playing centre back. You could see kind of fell apart when he kind of went off yesterday against Spurs. But anyway, hold on.
Did we need?
Hey, hold on. I'm talking here. Don't you dare interrupt me here. You leave it out. Listen, what I'm saying is this. We've been linked with midfielders. Nothing's happened. That's really not our fault. A lot of the time it's either the player or the club's in hand. And this is the problem. If Arsenal want to make a move, sometimes the clubs you're dealing with do not want to do the business yet. So you're always snookered, Dan. And that's what we are. We're always snookered. Now, there's only so much money we're going to have to spend. And we're going to have to spend it wisely. We're going to have to. I keep hearing all these names being bandied around. I'm not so sure what's going to happen. But this is one thing I will say. It's better late than never. It's better late than never. We have to work all the way up until 1 minute to the end of the transfer window to bring the right people in. That's what we have to do, Dan. It's not a great window so far. I like the signings we've already made. I think Lokonga's been excellent. I like him as a footballer. I think Ben White's an upgrade on what we've got. And Tavares, I think he's going to be a good understudy, deputy to Kieran Tierney. But there are holes in this squad that need filling, and there's players there that need shifting. That's our biggest problem.
But Kev, right, and I take what you've just said, right. I completely get it. But several things concern me. And the first one is, listen, I think Ben White's going to be a great signing, but did we really need to spend 50 million on him when we had other areas like the midfield area that needs a lot more surgery than our defense right now? We had the third best defensive record in the Premier League last season. The only problem is that forward in those midfield areas and even up top, we struggled to create and score chances. So, did we really need to spend 50 million on Ben White when we could have put that and got a Basuma, which I think would have been a great addition to our squad? I just look at it like that and think it's a gamble spending that amount of money on a centre back when we had Saliba, we had William Saliba, and if you're not going to use him, why are you going to go and spend money on a centre back when you've already got a ready-made centre back in Saliba?
Saliba didn't want to be in England; he wanted to be in France. Let's talk straight now. I keep hearing all these Arsenal fans about Saliba. I like Saliba, but the problem is he's gone through some personal issues and he wants to stay. He wants to go back to France. That's the bottom line. And when you're the football club, that's what you have to do. You have to adhere to the player sometimes because he's only young. He's a kid. So that's what Arsenal done. So they let him go back. They wanted him even to go on loan. Why? Because he's not ready. Arsenal need a ready-made player. Now, fans might say, but he is ready. But he's not ready. He's not ready. So Arsenal, the people on the inside made the decision. The fact of the matter is our problem was whenever David Luiz didn't play a lot of the time, our build-up play out the back was poor. And Rob Holding is decent, but he's not good enough to be the type of team that we need. So spending 50 million on a good defender is fine. We have gone in for midfielders, Dan. The issue is nothing's come off because it's either the player or the club.
But how do we know? Going back to Saliba a second, how do we know he's not ready if he's not been given a chance? I mean, I've seen him play one game for Arsenal, and that was in a pre-season friendly against MK Dons last season. And you can't really tell after one game.
Dan. The people on the inside of Arsenal Football Club believe he's not ready. It doesn't matter what we think, Dan. It doesn't matter. What matters is what they think and what the player wants. The player wanted to go to Olympique Marseille, so we went to Olympique Marseille. He's got a personal problem and he's more comfortable there. He's lost parents, etc. So you try and adhere to and try and make the young man as comfortable as you can within reason, and that's what they've done. So it's not even up for debate. He didn't want to be here. He wanted to be in France. So that's it. We are pushing, trying to get midfielders. Listen, at the end of the day, sometimes we're hamstrung because of the opposition club who we want to sign for. It's going to be an interesting couple of weeks coming up, Dan. I'll tell you that much, because you and I know we need to plug the holes. And at the end of the day, you can only go and get the players that are available. That's all you can do. And Ben White was the first kind of big name player that was available, and they went and got him. Lokonga's a good signing. Tavares is a good signing, but they went and got Ben White because he was available.
Yeah, I just the thing is I just look on it, Kev, and when you finished 8th for the last 2 seasons, I just look on it and I think you need to go out there and get your business done early, and you might be able to sort of understand where I'm coming from on this point. Being an ex-player, is that if you're coming to a new side, you need time and a pre-season to gel with your new teammates and get used to your new surroundings. And I just think buying players towards the end of the window, when, let's be honest here, the Euros finished over a month ago, or just around about a month ago. They could have done all this business and had a pre-season, but yet now the season's going to start. They're going to have to contend with coming into a new team. Any new signing now is going to come in and is going to struggle to adapt unless Arsenal spend money on Premier League players that are already used to the Premier League.
Well, isn't that what we need?
Well, it kind of depends, because I've seen, obviously we're being linked to, Maddison, we're being linked to Aouar, we're being linked to this Lautaro Martinez. I don't know how credible any of those are, but it seems like we're just being linked, but nothing's ever being done. I mean, when we see pictures of...
Dan, let me answer your question regarding business being done early. In theory, that's what every club wants to do. But the problem is the players you cover are contracted to another club. So unless you've got deep pockets, Daniel, and that's one thing we definitely don't have at Arsenal, in order to, what do you want for him? They say what they want and we say, right, we'll pay. And then you could get the deals done. It's not going to happen when you want it to. The fact of the matter is, it has to happen. So whether it's start of pre-season, middle or end of pre-season, it's better to happen late than never, Dan. That's my point. And if another club, opposition club, are going to sell a player, most of the time they're going to want to replace him. So that's what you're up against.
But we've got money, Kev.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, but hold on, Dan.
We spent 50 million on Ben White.
But we haven't got deep pockets, Dan. How much? Okay, then. How much money do you reckon we've got to spend?
Well, we've spent 70 odd million so far, and that's on all the signings.
And that's with no outgoings.
When you add in Lokonga, Tavares, and White. Ben White, but we've, I don't know, like I'd say we've probably maybe got about 200 million. Because if they're looking at, but Kev, come on,
Dan,
Kev, right?
If
they're looking at Maddison, Maddison's going to be another 65 to 70 million.
Dan, hold your horses. You reckon Arsenal got 200 million sitting there to spend? No chance. No.
But why are they looking at these expensive players?
They could look at them because they could.
They're looking at Maddison for 7. Maddison's going to cost about. If we get Maddison, he's going to cost about 70 million. I don't think we're going to get him away from Leicester any less than 70 million.
Dan, because Arsenal, there's terms to it, Dan. There are terms to how you structure these deals. Arsenal have to work smart. Arsenal don't have 70 million to put down for James Maddison and then his wages, not in a month for Sundays, mate. So let's get real. Arsenal have to work smart, and how they structure the payments for that type of money is how it works. They do not have 200 million war chest for transfers, or else if they did, they could have done the business already, but they don't have it. That's why the gaps haven't been filled. That's why we have to sell a Joe Willock. That's why.
Yeah. What do you make of the sale of Joe Willock? Do you think 25 million is good business, or do you think maybe we should have kept hold of him? Because I'm in the camp of his ceiling's never going to be this high again. I think if we kept him and he has a poor season, we ain't going to get nowhere near 25 million. I actually think getting 25 million for him right now is probably the right thing to do.
Listen, it's a tough one, because you know what? He's a player who could score goals from midfield, and that is one part of our team that we have struggled. He proved he can score goals. Not at Arsenal, but at Newcastle. He proved it. And even in that Chelsea game, he came on and scored a goal, which was disallowed, but it was a good goal. So that confidence is still in him to score them goals. Here's the key, though, Dan. If we want to improve our team, we've got to be ruthless. Okay?
Yeah.
Does he deserve a chance? You could say, yeah, he actually deserved a chance. But if we need to move and shake and be smart how we sell players and then bring players in, Joe Willock is at the height, as you quite rightly said, of his power. We have to sell him. We have to sell him and get the money, and then get in somebody of note, whether it's Aouar, whether it's Maddison, whether it's a combination. Because at the end of the day, Dan, I'd rather get 2 or 3 players for the price of Maddison, because that's what we need.
Yeah. look, I think Maddison would be a good signing. I think we could do with somebody like a Maddison. I'm not so sure on Awar. I think, last summer I would have taken him, but I'm not so sure now whether he'd be a good fit for us.
Well, look, he was 55 million last year. Good player. Everybody was raving about him. Now all of a sudden he's not good enough. Come on, Dan. Come on.
I just don't.
What's changed in 12 months?
I think that ship sailed. He didn't exactly have the greatest of seasons last season.
No, neither did we.
No, fair enough. But
he's a creative player. That's one thing you can't say he's not. He's a creative player. And that's what we lack.
The other thing that Maddison's got over Awar is that he's Premier League proven.
Who's injury prone as well. And Dan, look, we have to weigh it up. 70 million is a lot of money. Is he that type who's going to really make a difference in our team? Do you think so?
Yeah, do you know what, Kev? Right, I'll be honest with you. The stuff that's going on at Arsenal right now is just baffling to me. There's a comment here from Anish, and this is one of the things that I was coming on to next is why aren't we able to get a decent backup goalkeeper? And that's the thing. Yeah, I've seen links to us linking us to Ramsdale. Kev, would you really take Ramsdale at Arsenal?
If I'm honest with you, for the money, no. But listen, at the end of the day, we need a backup keeper. I like that Sam Johnston at West Brom.
Yeah. And then
I like him.
There's also Anana we could get for about £6 to £7 million, which
but that's a problem, Dan, because if you get Anana, he's suspended for 6 months, and then he goes to the African Cup of Nations. So you're still going to need another keeper. So that one doesn't make sense. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't help but thinking we're wasting this transfer window. And
Dan, it's not over yet. Hey, don't panic. It's not over yet. Listen, here's the question, Dan. Do you think we are going to fill all our holes in our squad? I don't.
Not in one window, but Kev, how many windows has Arteta had? He's had the January window. Obviously, the first January he came in. Then he had this one where, we cleared Ozil out. We got rid of a couple of other players, but then we got Odegaard in on loan. What was the point in that? I mean, I can understand it to get us through the season, but now it just seems like what's happening? Why? We're in a worse position.
Dan, whoa. Let me just say this. We do not have the deepest pockets. So what had to happen? And remember, this is legacy problems. This isn't what Arteta done. This is legacy problems. It's not his fault that there's players at the club who have no sell-on value. It's not his fault. But he's got to deal with it. And as a football club, the legacy of the transfers has been so poor, it's embarrassing. But as a football club, that's what we got to deal with. So now we're having to deal with it, Dan. Now we get to this window. This is the real window now. This one. The ones where you're trying to get rid of players and you can't bring players in because you haven't got rid of this one. That's all done. We still have to get rid of players.
Yeah.
But he can spend 50 million on a Ben White. He can go and get Lokonga. There's a lot more to do. Granted, 100%. But it's not done yet. Do I think we're going to fill all the holes? Dan, I don't think we're going to fill all the holes. And it's not just because we don't want the players or we're not going to try. But I think it's because of the other clubs that we're dealing with will go right up to the wire, and some deals might not get done. I would love to be proven wrong, and 4 or 5 players come in, goalkeeper, right back, few midfielders and a striker. Well, now you're talking. But do I honestly think it's going to happen? I don't think so.
Yeah, I think, you're right in what we said. We need to get outgoings. We need to get players out. But then I look at that, Kev, as well, and I just think that's been a right disaster. And I've got to be honest here, Kev. 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I'm going to look at Granit Xhaka, and he was all set to join Roma, and that looked odds on to happen, and then we go from him on the verge of joining Roma to, we're going to be offering him a new contract. How does that happen, Kev?
I'll tell you how it happens. I'll tell you.
Granit Xhaka's nowhere near good enough. He's not been good enough for the last 5 years that he's been here, and he's not going to be good enough now. So why has things changed in terms of keeping him? I just don't understand that. And then I go, I see him play in pre-season, and I just see the same stuff happening time and time again, and people are so hung up on the fact that he had a good Euros that things are going to be different for Arsenal, because when he puts on an Arsenal shirt, it's completely different to how he performs with Switzerland. And it's kind of like repeating the same mistakes that we've done time and time again before.
Well, let me deal with the first part. How does it happen? The fact of the matter is, you've got a club like Roma and Mourinho who were trying to take the piss, Dan. They were trying to take the mickey by making an offer and then cutting the offer down. No, Arsenal had to draw a line in the sand somewhere and said, do you know what? No, we agreed on a price and you're trying to stiff us. So unless you meet the price, Dan, you ain't getting him. In that time, Dan, for all these midfielders who we've been linked with, not one of them have come off. Not one. So there's a decision that has to be made. Right. Granit Xhaka is an Arsenal player, and if he's not going to go nowhere, Dan, what's going to happen? I think after this year, he would have had 1 year left. Right? So if he stays for another season, you know what's going to happen. He's going to run his contract down, and here we go again. Another experienced player leaves on a free, runs his contract down. Arsenal can't afford that. So Granit Xhaka was one of our better performers last season, although we had an absolute nightmare of a season. He was one of our better performers. So that's why he was given, not that I agree with it, Dan, but that's how that happens. If you can't get the bodies in and you've got someone who's been one of your better performers, he's not going to sign a contract for more years without getting a pay rise. That's for sure.
But
so
you say we can't get the bodies in. Did we really try though, Kev? Yeah, if we're being honest, did Arsenal really try? Because I get the feeling that they didn't really try and get the bodies in.
But Dan, that's just your opinion. That's your opinion, and you're more than welcome to your opinion. But everybody knows Arsenal need bodies in that midfield. So I don't see how Arsenal won't be trying to still get bodies. Even though Xhaka signed, they're still trying to get bodies in that midfield because they know it. That's where the big holes are. So fair enough, you might not think, did they try? Remember, it takes two to tango, Dan. No matter how much you push, if I want a player from another team but the other club don't want to sell, there's nothing I can do.
I just don't think we really tried. I just look, I see all the links, but not really any official bids coming in, and I just, this is what I'm saying to you. Did we really try? When you see other teams, right? Yeah. and they go and lay down the money. They go and lay down the money and get the player, and it happens. With us, I just feel like it's links, and then we're ages before we even act on it. And then by the time we act on it, it's either too late or somebody else has come in and gone, do you know what? Arsenal are messing around. I'll just go and slap the money that this club wants down on the table. And then the player goes to that club rather than Arsenal.
So who has that happened within this window?
Well, this is what I'm saying to you, Kev. I don't actually think.
No, but you said, no, hold on.
I don't actually think.
You said Arsenal dilly-dally and then somebody else goes and gets the player. So I'm asking you, who has that happened within this window?
All right. When you look at Maddison, we've been linked to Maddison for weeks.
Yeah, but
there's been no official bid. We've been linked to this guy from Inter Milan, this Lautaro Martinez.
Yeah, but who's coming and bought him?
Now we're seeing reports that Spurs have put in a bid. They look close to meeting Inter Milan's valuation.
Yeah, but hold on, Dan. Hold on, Dan.
You see what I'm saying, Kev? It's just
dilly-dallying. No, but it's not dilly. Hold on, it's not dilly-dallying. Transfers are not just you go into a corner shop and you go into Spar or whatever and you put money across the table and you get something on the other side. It's more complex than that. There's a lot more detail in putting money on the table because other teams have money as well, Dan. Arsenal ain't the only team that's got money. So I think you're being a bit harsh.
And a lot of people in the chat are saying, and I completely forgot about Buendia. Buendia is one that we
didn't want Buendia.
Come on, do you really believe that? Do you really believe that?
We
Kev?
did not.
Do you honestly believe that?
We did not want Buendia.
Do you really honestly believe that, Kev? Come on. Do you really believe? Because I genuinely think we just got outbid by Villa. I think Villa wanted him more.
So
and then
hold on a minute then. Hold on a minute then, Dan. How could we get outbid for Buendia when we spent 50 million on Ben White after? That makes no sense.
Well, it makes no sense, Kev. But
it makes no sense.
Arsenal's priorities are wrong. That's what I'm saying.
Because Arsenal didn't want him enough. He wasn't a priority. That's my point. He's not a priority.
What, an attacking midfielder? We lack.
He is not a priority.
I don't know. Look, I'm not so sure, Kev.
He's not. I'm telling you, he's not. He's not a priority. Because you know what would happen if he was a priority, Dan?
Yeah.
They meet the same terms that Villa have, and then it's up to the player.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily, Kev.
Why not?
Honestly, because
why not?
That's not how Arsenal roll, is it, Kev? They don't just go meet.
But that's
we try and get the
cheap. Dan.
We try and get the cheapest possible deal.
No, we don't. No, we don't. Because the Ben White signing blows all that out the water. Arsenal fans have been saying we spent too much money on Ben White. Nonsense. So you can't have it both ways, Dan. You can't. If Buendia was a priority for Arsenal, Arsenal would have either outbid or upped the bid or said, right, we agree to the same terms as Villa, and then it's up to the player to make his mind up. But they never done that, Dan. That's why, in my eyes, he wasn't a priority.
But that's easy to say, though, Kev, isn't it? Like,
How?
you know, that.
No, it's not easy to say.
If we miss out on Maddison,
it's the truth. No,
if we miss out on but if we miss out on Maddison or another one of our targets, then it's so easy to just go, oh, well, he obviously wasn't a priority.
No, Dan. No, Dan, it's not. I've said to you already, I would rather Arsenal buy 2 or 3 players with the money that so-called Maddison is being touted for. I've got no problem with that. The problem is you are saying Maddison's a top target. But if we don't get Maddison and we get 3 other players, is that a problem?
And
no,
Kev,
is that a problem? Yes or no?
Sorry, what was the question, Kev?
So the question is, You're saying that Maddison is a top target, and if we don't get him, then that's terrible. I'm saying we need to fill the gap. So I'd rather Arsenal buy 3 players with the 70 million that so-called Maddison is being touted for. Is that a problem to you?
Well, I'd rather have the right player. I don't just want to fill the gaps with any old player.
But you're not answering my question. You see, this is the question.
You're
not. Is it a problem not getting Maddison if we get 3 players?
It depends who those 3 players are. Because we could buy 3 rubbish players.
No, but we're not talking about 3 rubbish players. We're talking about 3 players that fill the holes in our squad.
All right, then name those 3 players. Because it's you can't say, is it a problem not getting Maddison if we get 3 players? It depends on the 3 players.
Okay, this is for argument's sake. Let's say we buy OR. Let's say we buy Basuma and we buy Sam Johnson.
I'll be happy with that. But is Arsenal going to do that?
No. But what you're saying is the club have less ambition because they won't get in their targets. But you have to have multiple targets, is what I'm trying to get across to you, Dan. You can't get everybody you go for. And as far as I'm concerned, Buendia was not a priority. Yeah, they went in for him, but he was not a priority.
Kev, come on. Arsenal were monitoring Buendia for the last 6 months.
It don't matter. And you're telling me not a priority.
You're telling me that he's not a priority when Arsenal monitor him.
He's not. Arsenal will probably monitor 15 to 20 players. Is all of those players priority?
Well, I think some of them will be.
No, Dan. Some, but not all. Okay? So, therefore, the ones who they really want, what do you reckon happens? They meet the asking price. If they've been monitoring him for so long, and it's not as if Buendia went for 100 million, he went for money that we could afford. But if he was that much of a priority, we would have matched what Villa paid. But we didn't. Why? Because he's not a priority. I'm not saying he's not a good player, but he is not a priority. That's all.
A comment here from Static. He said, Arteta said Ben White was the top target along with Odegaard. And we got Ben White. Odegaard.
Odegaard's not going anywhere because of the injury to Cruz. So we have to look elsewhere. That's how this thing breaks down.
I don't know, Kev. I honestly,
you want it all your own way. You want it all your own way, Dan. And unfortunately, it doesn't work that way in the transfer market.
I don't want it all my own way. I want Arsenal to be successful, Kev.
No, and at the moment, so do I.
I just don't think they're doing enough. You know, when we finish top 8, when we finish 8th place 2 seasons in a row, I think you need to be going out and making a statement.
Dan, you said
look at Chelsea when they had a season outside Europe. They went and made statements.
Different clubs, different deep pockets. Our pockets ain't deep enough.
But Chelsea have got a winning mentality. Where's our winning mentality,
Jesus.
Kev?
Dan.
Come on, but where is it? Kev, can you answer me this
hold
right?
On, Dan. Yeah? No, Dan. I've got to deal with what you just said. You're talking about Chelsea and Arsenal. They're 2 different clubs. One is bankrolled by a billionaire who's happy to put his money in there. One isn't. Let's not even go down that route. We do. You reckon we had 200? If we had 200 million war chest, Dan, we would have done the business, but we don't.
Well, I think we must have money because we're going in for. If we didn't have money, Kev, right? Yeah. If we didn't have deep pockets, then why are we looking at Ramsdale as a backup goalkeeper and he's going to cost 30 million when you've got Anana who's out there who's half that price, not even a third of that price. So, and then we're looking at Maddison. He's 70 million.
Dan, you're talking.
That's another.
No,
that's
but
another
speculation.
100 million right there, Kev. That's another 100 million right there.
You're speculating is one, and what I'm saying to you is how you structure the deal means that you don't have to have the money sitting there. Chelsea go and do the business. We don't. We have to structure because we are not in the same monetary level as Chelsea.
It's not about money, Kev.
So what is it about then?
It's not about money, Kev.
So what? If it's not about money, what is it about transfers then? If it's not about money.
It's just we go for the wrong players. When you look at our business dealings over the last 5 years, I could cite so many examples of affordable players, and you say it's to do with money. We could have signed N'Golo Kante. We didn't. We signed Granit Xhaka. N'Golo Kante was about 35 million. We could have signed Suarez, and we ballsed that deal up with.
That comes down to the recruitment.
But it's not all about money. You're saying
no,
it's all
but
about
it is
money.
now. It is now, Dan. It is now. What are you talking about? You're talking about legacy stuff where one chooses one player and another club chooses another. That's down to the recruitment team. But we're talking about right now. And you're telling me transfers ain't about money? Come on,
but
Dan.
no, it is about money, but I'm saying
no, but you just said it's not. You've just said it's not about money.
Because obviously there's a lot more than goes into money. But what I'm saying to you is we could have, okay, if you're looking at the transfer window now, right? We signed Ben White for 50 million. We could have got Basuma for 45 million. We could have got, like I said, we could get Anana instead of looking at Ramsdale.
Dan, you don't know what's going on. There's still time in the transfer window. So what you're talking about could still happen. You don't know. True?
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just asking the question. Could what you're saying still happen?
What, with getting Anana and getting
Basuma or another one or whatever? It still could happen.
It could, but we're not even being linked, Kev. We're not even.
But it still could happen. Is my point. So for all the throwing the toys out the pram and knocking the stuff off the shelves, Dan, we are still in there with a shout. We need them holes plugged in that squad because we are not strong enough. I agree with you on that for sure. But it's not as simple as we're linked with the player, we go and get him. It's not that simple.
I don't know, Kev. You're a lot more patient than I am. Like you're a lot more patient.
It's not just about patience for me, Dan. I'll be honest with you. It's about knowing and understanding how these things work. I'm a fan. The fan in me says, of course I want Arsenal to sign 9-10 players. But we can't. We haven't got the deep enough pockets to do that. So we have to work smart or smarter. And some of our targets we're not going to get. You never get all your targets. Never.
I want to grab this question. I don't know why I'm going to answer this. Ask this. My brother said, who has the most delusional fan base, Arsenal or Everton?
Arsenal, for sure. Arsenal, for sure. Because you know what? Do you know why Arsenal have more delusional fan base? Because Arsenal fans, not all, most, are snobs. They are snobs. Look, over the years, the amount of players that we could have got. Oh, we don't want this one. We don't want that one. Next minute, they do well for their clubs. Oh, we should have signed him after the event. No. Sign the players that make a difference in your team. And they might not have the greatest name on the back, but they'll put a shift in. That's what we need. We need more practical players.
I can't believe. I think all I want to see is us move in the right direction, Kevin. I just don't see that right now. I just, we're a week away from the season.
No, less, Dad. It's Friday. It starts.
Yeah. I forgot we're the first game. So
yeah, the Friday.
But I just don't think we've done enough business to when you look at pre-season, Kevin, I just see the same things happening again in games, the same mistakes. And it's like we have just broke for the Euros and come back and picked up where we left off.
Yeah, but like anything, Dan, do you seriously think that they're not trying to sign players? Seriously?
Well, I mean, when you see
I'm asking you. I'm asking you. Do you seriously think that they're not trying to sign players?
Well, when you see pictures of Edu on holiday, I don't know what's going on at this club anymore, Kev. Do you know what I mean?
No, but you're not answering the question.
Well, I am, because when you see pictures of...
No, so what does it make? What difference does it make that Edu's away?
Because at a critical time now, when we've got 3 weeks left of the transfer window, why not take his holiday when the Euros are on, where, listen, players are away on international duty. I get that.
Because he could always fly back. I don't understand what you mean. He doesn't go to the club and sit there. That's not how it's done, Daniel. The devil's in the details. So I'll ask you again. Do you seriously think Arsenal are not trying to sign players?
I don't know, Kev. Honestly, I don't know what's going on.
No, but you won't answer the question. It's either yes or no. What's the question? Do you seriously think Arsenal are not trying to sign players? Yes or no?
Well, I think there's trying and there's trying. I think we're being linked with this player and that player.
It's not what I asked.
Hold on, I'm answering it. Hold on.
But you're not. You're skating. You're skating. It's a yes. It's a yes or no answer. No, it's a yes.
There's more strands to that.
No,
question.
It isn't. It's a yes or no answer. Are Arsenal trying to sign players in your opinion? Yes or no? Forget the strands.
Like I said, I think there's trying and then there's trying. I think
you should be a politician. You should be a politician.
No,
you should be a politician. It's either yes or no. It's either yes they are or no they're not. That's it.
All right. If you want me to give a yes or no answer at this current time and moment, I don't think they're trying hard enough. No.
That's not that. You see, but that is that is not
because
the question.
It's not a yes or no answer.
It is. You see, and this is the problem with Arsenal fans.
It's not a yes or no answer.
It is, Dan, because although I try to sign players, that doesn't mean I'm going to. But I've got to try. So I'll ask you one more time. Do you honestly think Arsenal are trying to sign players, yes or no?
But it's not a yes or no answer, because there's trying and then there's trying, isn't there, Kev? Come on, anyone can try and sign players.
I don't know where you live, but you should be going in the local by-elections. The local by-election, because you're scooting around talking about strands and you're talking about this and that and blah blah blah. You're the one who said we were linked with players and we might not get them, but that shows that they're trying. So when I ask you the question, you don't want to answer it and say yes.
Well,
you're a politician, Dad.
No, because there's trying, Kev, isn't there? There's trying and being linked, but actually putting in firm bids and pushing for that. They're not doing that.
Dan, that is not the question. The question was, do you honestly think Arsenal are not trying to sign players? You see? So you're making up something other than what I asked you.
Okay, well, at this current time and moment, they're not trying to sign players.
Right,
Of course, we're being linked with players.
No, but that's all you needed to say. No,
but
that's it. No,
but
no,
there's a lot more into that answer, though.
No, but it doesn't matter what's in there because you say you don't think they're trying to sign players. See, that's all that matters. But I'm on the other side. I think they are trying to sign players because they know there's gaps in the squad. So again, we disagree, which is fair enough.
Yeah, listen, it's
we can't have a show without me and you disagreeing. That's for sure.
Kev, come on, listen. You know how it is. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure I'm not the only. I'm sure I'm not the only one.
No, hey, listen. I disagree with so many gooners right now. Why? Because they want things. Of course, I understand. They want things to happen. Because Dan, it's painful seeing Arsenal in this position. But I said it last. It's been coming for years, and here we are.
I think, Kev, as well, with us fans, and I realise we're getting on for time. So I just want to. I realise before, I think from us fans' point of view, Kev, we spend a lot of money going up and down the country following this team. We spend a lot of money. The Emirates has one of the highest ticket prices, and I think that's why we're so critical, Kev. When we're, it's not. It's just, are we getting the same rewards back as we're putting in as fans? And that's, for me, that's the problem. And at the moment, I don't think
years. It's been that way for a long time now. Not going to change now.
But you know what, Kev, right? I've got to be honest with you, right? I even at the end of Wenger's reign, right? Mm-hmm. I went into a season with optimism. This season, I'm going into this season and I'm petrified, Kev. I have no optimism. Like this game on Friday against Brentford, I'm terrified. I think we're going to go out. We're going to go out there and we're going to get our pants pulled down. If I'm being brutally honest.
Yeah, but you're gonna think that. You're gonna think that, Dan. Why? Because you're thinking of the negative. You're thinking of the negative. That's understandable. I don't share that. I'm not going to go into that negative mindset. Do Arsenal have good players? Of course they do. Do Arsenal? You look at Arsenal squad and you look at Brentford squad. Which squad would you rather take? I'd take Arsenal squad. So why would I?
Yeah, Brentford's much in a better position than us.
Why? Why are they? How?
Because they've
never been in the Premier League. So how are they in a better position?
But they've got better players than us. Let's be honest.
Sorry.
Come on, Kev. Because they have.
No, hold on a minute, Dan. Brentford have just come up from the Championship, and you're telling me they've got better players than Dan. Let's finish it on that because you've done it.
But I think they've got better players.
Okay,
I think
that's your opinion.
They're together. No, I think they look more like a team.
Dan,
they're going to be. And the other thing is, Kev,
they've got better players than we have.
And the other thing is, Kev, they're going to be up for it, aren't they?
No, of course they are.
No,
of course they're going to be up for it, and we need to be up for it. But the fact that you're telling me that they've got better players, come on, Dan.
Well, they have. Let's be honest.
Dan,
who's better right now than them? When you look at the likes of Aubameyang, and when you look at Lacazette, when you look at Pepe, none of these guys are performing. So at this current time and moment, if they perform better than
stop it, please. Let's just stop it right there. You're telling me Brentford have got better players than Arsenal. I'm not saying Arsenal can't lose, but you're telling me Brentford's got better players than Arsenal. Dan, come on. Come on now.
But Kev, come on, honestly.
Dan, you're just so negative, mate. So negative. Too negative.
It's this club. It's what it's done to me, Kev. Honestly, I never used to. Kev, let me tell you this, right? I never used to be this negative, Kev, right? I used to be.
Brentford have got better players than Arsenal. Well, I've heard it all. I have heard it all.
But
I've heard it all, Dan. You've done me there. There's nothing more for me to say, Dan. There's nothing more for me. As I said, I'm not saying Arsenal can't get beat there. I'm not saying that. But you're telling me Brentford have got better players than that? No. Not for me, thank you. No chance.
But look, listen. Well, I don't really.
Yeah, there's nowhere more to go. We might as well finish it right here, Dan. I'm telling you, because you've killed me there.
Do you know what though, Kev? Right, it's been an absolute blast talking to you today.
As always, Dan. As always.
Yeah, mate. Listen, we look. We're gonna disagree. It's par for the course, but listen, a healthy debate, healthy discussion is. No, it's always great to talk to you, Kev. Yeah, it's always great to.
Dan, thanks for having me on. And I didn't appreciate the little kidney punch to finish, all right? But listen, everybody who's in chat and subscribe and like it. And thanks for having me on, Dan. And hopefully in a month or so, I could come on again and see where we are. Yeah,
listen, Kev, listen, it's always a pleasure having you on. And you know that. Yeah, guys, do hit the like button and subscribe. I'm not going to be back now until Thursday with the live streams. I'll be doing the Brentford versus Arsenal preview, but look out for my Premier League prediction show. That will be dropping on Wednesday. That's going to be pre-recorded, so look out for that. And then obviously Friday, it's the big one, Brentford versus Arsenal. And we'll see who's got the better players on Friday. Won't we, Kev?
Listen, I know who's got the better players now. The result is going to be the result. But I know who's got the better players. And it's the Arsenal, Dan.
Yeah. Well, listen, guys, all take care and have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon.